What is the discomfort with predictability?
Like we want to keep seeing ourselves in other people's pain.
So I want you to try to complete this for me. Good art makes you what?
Somehow it retunes you, or it shows you how you're.
Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're doing.
You're like,
Totally
I
ready.
don't know what's about to happen.
Jump in the deep end.
How you feeling?
Good. No, actually, good. Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
I think you should be feeling good. You did great.
Thank you.
What were you thinking about when you put that poetry set together in front of us?
Well, I didn't put it together in front of you necessarily. I was like, my goal was I'm trying out like my sea legs with some sort of new, I don't know, just ways of thinking about poetry. Sort of like going back in time and finding like poet me. It sounds really strange, but like finding poet me from like the beginning of poet me, almost like I don't know. It sounds like really strange. Like when you're an adult and you go, oh, I have a chance to raise myself again. Like I have a chance to be like, to reparent myself or something, you know? So I've been sort of just messing around with that on the side. And trying to, I don't know, be kind of reflective and fearless in that reflection, if that makes sense. I don't know, it's hard. Or brave. Maybe fearless is not the word because brave is a better word. And so I wanted to mess around with that and be like, oh, look, this is this new weird thing I'm playing around with. And then also find some of the older stuff that I feel is more, what's the word? Like, I can't find a word. I'm finding it. I'm seeking the word. Things that people would predict from me more, you know, like, so it's like, oh, this is something that is like, oh yeah, that's like a Su Flatt kind of thing to do. And then stuff that's like, this is fun, new, experimental-ish, trying to go back to like not feeling as, I don't want to say not feeling as disciplined, because I feel like I'm more it's kind of more disciplined, but shorter, smaller, and trying to go like to places that are less predictable in my head, you know, like not go to the first thought or to the thought that I know will work, you know, because you get like in these habits of the things that you know are going to work, and you roll with them because they're going to work, right? And so more messing around with stuff that I think might fall apart. I don't know if that makes sense.
It does. What is the discomfort with predictability?
I don't know that there's a discomfort in predictability. I don't know. I feel like,
Let's talk about it.
well, I feel like that is maybe perhaps I thought that was like an assessment of something that I said, and I was like, I'm not necessarily uncomfortable with things being predictable.
No, that was purely
Oh, you mean
on me,
discomfort
just in general.
in knowing what? Well, I don't know that it's discomfort. It might just be bland, right?
So the discomfort is being bland.
Yeah, like, or well, like,
What's wrong with being bland? Let's talk about it. If you need me to rephrase, let me know.
I think something that I say to people sometimes in terms of predictability, which also is the blandness, right? Is you do all these things here that are kind of like fresh and new, and then you have this thing that we knew was coming, that we felt like it was coming. Did you want us to have that soft landing and get wrapped in, you know what I mean? Did you want to sort of reset us in what we could predict so that we could feel, oh, I'm smart? Or was that like, I didn't realize that was a cliche, or I didn't realize that was so common, right? And I think that also comes down to sort of like that, if you draw a square with a triangle on top, what is it?
Star.
a square with a triangle on top. It's a house.
Oh,
It's a house, right? And it's every house. It's not necessarily every house, but it like signifies a house. If you write the words HOUSE, it is a house. It signifies a house in English, right? And so every time you see it, it's a house. It's any house. It's whatever house it calls to mind, right? And then you've got like the more sort of very, very like photo, like simulacra house, right? The house that is like the picture of the house, right? That is with all of the details and everything very specific. And then every place in between is moving toward or away from letting your audience bring their thing to the less specific thing, right? Their own, which is a place where you want to meet them. Where I say house and everyone has a different vision of a house, right? And
but it's still a house.
But it's still a house, right? And so we all have our own house at that moment. And then when I say that, as you, like, when I tell you about the ramp going up to the house, now the house is different. Now the house is my house. Or it's your house with a ramp. You know what I mean? And it starts to, and then we start to meet in this place with the predictable and unpredictable that you were talking about, right? I hope I'm not dodging. I'm just interpreting.
I'll bring you back.
That is both my personal experience and this universal experience. And then we have this container in which we can share our humanity.
It's getting into like Frege and like Wittgenstein and stuff like that. Language theory here, which I like.
I'm very nerdy.
No, you brought up some very interesting things. So one of the things that, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, you associate with predictability almost like a soft landing versus a hard landing. Like there's a comfort.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And you also mentioned that with predictability, I think for the writer, but also for the audience, there can be a reward.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I understood correctly.
Yes. That's why I don't see that it's necessarily uncomfortable. You know?
So
I think you need a mix. Like you need sour cream with spiciness.
You know, get rid of sour cream, in my opinion. But regardless.
Because if it hurts, you need some dairy.
So, I mean, I think when I associate discomfort, I associate it not necessarily from the artist. I mean, from the audiences, but from the artist's point of view. The artist, I feel like if an artist feels like I'm making work that is always comfortable, I feel like there can be some tension with that. Would you agree with that assessment?
Yes.
Okay. So then where does that tension come from? Because an artist can bask in it, right? They can just be like, you know what, I'm known for this. I'm just going to stick with this forever and just keep making the same thing.
I think sort of like this is none of these words are going to be exactly like it's just something that I said one time when I was like in my 20s, but like this, like
let's let's do it.
This sort of late 20th century like masochistic narcissism, right? Like we want to keep seeing ourselves in other people's pain, and we want to keep seeing ourselves in other people's like we want it to hurt. Like, and I feel like that is something that maybe it's just, I don't know, some kind of, I don't have the philosophical foundation, nor do I have the anthropological or sociological foundation to be like, this stems from, you know, the American war myth being like devastated by Vietnam, and then people are like, we must feel pain, or the 80s and the Cold War or any of that. And but I feel like there's some kind of like this atomization of people and this isolation of people that gets like further and further apart. And then we get sort of all lonely and stuck in ourselves. And I may be rambling, but I don't care. I'm just going to keep going. And there's a turn that happens somewhere in the mid to late 20th century where like painful equals good. And when we fuck with people in our writing and we go, oh, you know, like, there's nothing like a surprise. Surprises are great, right? But it's like, it always has to hurt. And if it doesn't hurt, it's not good. right? And that has become, in my opinion, predictable. And people are like, you know what? If people can predict it, then that's going to give them some comfort. And art is designed to cause discomfort. And there's that amazing and wonderful saying, somebody has to tell me who said it, which is, good art disturbs the comfortable and comforts the uncomfortable, right? But I feel like we sometimes take that to this extreme of like good art makes you uncomfortable.
Okay.
And so that it makes us as artists and makers uncomfortable if our art comforts other people or makes them feel good, because therefore then, based on all these weird metrics, we must hurt our audience in order to be successful. Right? And rather than sort of maybe moving through, pain is part of our existence, and being like not in lockstep with what is predictable is also part of our existence. But maybe walking through that together, holding hands, and having some level of transcendence associated with it, rather than just always like landing on a bottom. Which I feel like there's plenty of art out here, like lots that does that. Lots that does that.
So let's maybe, because I know we're getting up against time. No, you're good. No, these are really good. I wish we had more time to dive in on all these things. Each one of these questions would be like an hour long.
I talk a lot.
So let's change the paradigm then. You mentioned, good art makes you uncomfortable and things like that. And you're saying that maybe it's time to question or re-examine the role of pain. So let's find a new statement. So I want you to try to complete this for me, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Good art makes you what?
Feel resonant or harmonious somehow. It retunes you, or it shows you how you're tuned.
Let's riff on that a little bit. So good art retunes you. Sounds like a very Su Flatt.
Reveals something. It like reveals something about you and the artist. Good art. I'm so sorry, you're so good to me. Invites people into a shared human experience.
Good art invites people into a shared human experience.
Yeah, it like reveals the humanity in each other. Even when we don't relate to each other, even if we don't like each other or agree, we can be in that sort of crucible together. And I love reading art by people I disagree with and like hate, or not hate. I don't hate anybody. I love everyone. But like people like their ideas will be like so problematic for me. But then I go, if I can see their humanity, then I can have compassion, right? I still don't have to like their ideas. I still don't have to like anything about them. I can still be like, but if I can, anything that shows each other our humanity in a world that continues to divide us and continues to make everyone so othered and so different and to strip of us our humanity, I think is necessary.